Hello everybody and welcome to this unboxing and first impressions video of the new Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Now, Sennheiser had a pretty busy IFA this year, unveiling both their Sennheiser Momentum 3s and their Sennheiser PXC 552s. It's a great name. Now, if you're interested in the Sennheiser PXC 552s, those won't be out until later on in October, so right now we're going to be focusing mainly on the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Now, just keep in mind, this is just an unboxing and first impressions video, and you can expect a full review on these guys later on in a few days, in a week or in a week or two. Now, with all that being said, the first thing I do want to talk about regarding these headphones has got to be their carrying case. Now, personally, I was a little taken back that we got this soft shell carrying case with these $400 headphones. Now, I do think it's safe to assume that if you're going to be shelling out $400 for a pair of headphones, you should be getting a carrying case or hard shell carrying case that's going to do everything in its power to keep your headphones safe whenever you throw them into your backpack. And plainly said, I wouldn't feel all that comfortable throwing my $400 headphones into a cramped backpack because, you know, this is going to get squished. But since we're on the topic of accessories, I do want to quickly point out that the Sennheiser Momentum 3s come with a USB-C to a USB-C cable, and they come with a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Now, this is pretty unique because right now with the Sony 1000 XM3s and the Bose NC 700s, even though they charge via a USB-C port, they come with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. So it's really cool that Sennheiser basically gives you both. You have a USB-C to USB-C cable, and if you need USB-C to USB-A, you've got the adapter. So this is pretty cool right here. All right, but with accessories out of the way, let's get to the headphones themselves. Now, the first thing I really do want to point out on these guys is their leather. Now, I'm not sure if this is real leather or synthetic leather, but what I do know is that this feels amazing. Now, usually, Bose has always had great feeling synthetic leatherette on their Bose QC35s and their Bose NC 700s, but I think right now I am willing to go and say that I do think that the leatherette on the Momentum 3s feels nicer than the leatherette on the NC 700s. The leatherette on the Momentum 3s just feels more natural but still buttery smooth. This feels buttery smooth but synthetic, but it still feels good, but I don't know, there's just something about this that just makes them feel better, and it's also on the headband as well. Now, I also do notice that even though the ear cups here, they do feel nice and they feel very, very smooth, smoother than the Bose NC 700s, their padding does feel a little stiffer than the Bose NC 700s. Now, before I actually put these headphones on, I do want to address the Sennheiser Momentum 2s. When I first tried them on a few years back, I wasn't the biggest fan of them because their ear cups didn't pivot enough, so they did end up putting a lot of pressure here on the anterior portion of my ear. And personally, I've always been not the biggest fan of headphones that have a yoke design like this, that don't have a full yoke design, like let's say the Sony 1000 XM3s and a whole bunch of other headphones. But when I first unboxed these headphones, one of the biggest things that I also noticed is that their ear cups have way more range of motion than I remember with the Sennheiser Momentum 2s. So right now I do have high hopes that these headphones are going to fit great when it comes to resting on your head, because it looks like these headphones do have enough pivot and swivel in the ear cups. So without further ado, let's actually put these guys on for the very first time and see if they're big head approved, if they fit well. Here we go. Yeah, okay. These headphones fit a lot better than I remember from the Sennheiser Momentum 2s. I do think ANC is turned on because I do feel a little bit of cabin pressure. It's not a lot. It's not painful like, let's say, the Bose QC35s. Now, I know the Bose QC35s may not give you cabin pressure, but they do give me cabin pressure and a few other people. I always just gotta state that. Here, there is some cabin pressure. It's not entirely, overbearing, but it is there. I probably got to go into the app and see what setting they're currently at. But fit-wise, these headphones, they do fit a lot better than the Sennheiser Momentum 2s, which that's a great thing. Okay, now really quick before I actually throw up the Sennheiser app here for you and we test out the ANC and do a quick little sound demo, I do want to talk about this new feature that I don't remember being on the Sennheiser Momentum 2s, but I do know they're on the original PXC 550s, and that's these headphones automatically power on and off whenever you fold them. Now it looks like the left ear cup is the one that powers the headphones on or off. So if you collapse the left ear cup, the headphones will power off. And then if you open up the left ear cup, they'll power back on again. But if you were to collapse the right ear cup and leave the left ear cup out, these headphones are still powered on. You see, it doesn't change anything. So essentially the on-off switch is here on this hinge. So right now they're on, and right now they're technically off. Okay, so here we go. We've got the app up, hopefully. And yeah, here's a quick look at the app. Now there's your active noise cancellation tab. So right now the ANC is set to max. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this AC and see what type of a difference I can see. All right, so I'm gonna turn that off in a minute, but hold on, let's get this going. All right, awesome. Actually, let me just put that on cool. Okay, so right now the ANC is at max. There's an anti-wind, so this is more like when you're outdoors, you don't want the sound going through the ANC on your headphones when it's windy outside. And anti-pressure. Now yeah, the cabin pressure has gone away, but I think the ANC is doing a little bit too little. Now there are control buttons back here, which I'll talk about in a minute. Let's see if we can turn this off. No, that's ambient mode. Okay, these headphones have an ambient mode, and the ambient mode sounds good. It sounds natural, which is good. It doesn't sound tinny like the human headphones. Freaking human headphones. Hold on. Let me... okay, so there it's off. Okay. So we're gonna go over to max real quick. Okay, so maximum ANC, so on. Off. First impressions, these ANC headphones aren't doing too much ANC, but I know that's not the main purpose of these headphones. The ANC on these headphones is just to help to reduce ambient noise. It's not like Sony 1000 XM3 levels, but obviously I'm going to put these headphones through a proper ANC test with you know, the big boys. So let's go over, like I mentioned earlier, there's a transparent hearing ambient mode, and it sounds good. Sounds natural. Let's turn that off. All right, so that's off. There's no background hissing on the ambient mode. That's good. We are gonna have to see if this is an active ambient mode, where the ambient mode will actively block out sudden loud noises. That'll be in the full review. But right now, the ambient mode, it sounds good. It doesn't sound tinny. There's no hissing in the background. Good so far. And finally, then there's your EQ, standard Sennheiser EQ here. Now, like I mentioned with the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless, I think those earbuds sound best with their standard Sennheiser EQ, so maybe that might be the case with these headphones. Okay, and we're back. I've listened to a few songs with these guys, and first impressions is these things get really loud. I think these are perhaps one of the loudest headphones I have here right now. These things get excruciatingly loud. Now these headphones I'm using these headphones with their stock Sennheiser EQ, but using that EQ, these headphones do have a neutral sound signature similar to the Bose NC 700s, but their bass does hit a little harder. So right now, first impression wise, I am preferring how the Bose Momentum 3 sounds over the Bose NC 700s. But while I was listening to these headphones, I also noticed that these headphones do have automatic on-ear detection. Now, personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of that feature, but I think there might be a way to turn it off. If not, it's just something that you'll have to deal with. But yeah, these headphones do have automatic on-ear detection. And another thing that I do want to point out is that these headphones still have physical control buttons. Now, right now, with the majority of headphones, well, premium ones at the very least, are shifting over to touch controls. The touch controls on the Bose NC 700s and Sony 1000 XM3s are perfectly fine once you get used to them. But I do 100% understand that some people just still prefer or don't want to have to deal with touch controls. So if you want a pair of headphones with physical control buttons, then the Sennheiser Momentum 3s could be a candidate for you. Okay, but I think we're going to wrap it up there. So first impression wise on these headphones, not bad at all. Now, personally, I am a little taken back that we're getting a soft shell carrying case with a pair of $400 headphones, but their build quality, I really do like their build quality, especially the leatherette on their ear cups. It just feels great. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this old-time, old-school design, but obviously looks are subjective. Personally, I'm not a fan of it, but I am a fan of their build quality. Now, the ANC on these headphones, first impression-wise, doesn't seem like it's performing all that great, and there is some cabin pressure. But their transparent mode does perform well in the sense that it sounds natural and there isn't any background hissing. And when it comes to sound quality, like I mentioned earlier, these headphones do have a neutral sound signature like the Bose NC 700 and the Bose QC35s, but since their bass does hit a little harder, personally, these headphones sound a little bit more fun, and I am preferring right now the Momentum 3s to the NC 700s with their stock EQ. Now, obviously, you can make them sound however you want through the built-in EQ in their app, but stock EQ right now, I dig how these headphones sound. So, I think we're going to leave it at that. Like I mentioned earlier, this is just an unboxing and first impressions video. You can expect a full review on these guys in about a week or so. Right now, I'm pretty busy with the JBL Pulse 4, which I got back there. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick any other products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below. And you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.